How's everyone doing? Today I have a Blu-ray update with 6 pickups, and if you've seen any of these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them. First up from Warner Brothers, out on March 1st, is Creed. Now I'll say I was very surprised by this movie. Seeing the trailers, I thought it was just going to be kind of a cash grab, but I was blown away by the film and the performances of Michael B. Jordan especially. Just a very intense and emotional movie, very heartfelt, and I think director Ryan Coogler did a fantastic job, and great to see Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler working together again. Of course, they worked together on Fruitvale Station, and Sylvester Stallone won the Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actor as his role here, which kind of harkens back to the original Rocky and Burgess Meredith as well, winning the Oscar. Maybe Sylvester Stallone will win the Oscar for his role in this as well, but I do wish Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler would have gotten more recognition since Sylvester Stallone did for his performance. I think both of them did very well for what they did in here. This movie had such great cinematography. The acting was on point. There's a lot of professional boxers in here as well. And I just love the whole journey of Adonis in here, and harkens back to the name too, Apollo and Adonis. That all works together very well, and I'm looking forward to the sequel of this. I can't wait. And the whole supporting cast was excellent here. Felicia Rashad, Tessa Thompson, all the professional boxers here, everybody involved, they all play their roles perfectly. And of course it's the story of Adonis being Apollo Creed's illegitimate son and being essentially taken in by Apollo Creed's actual wife. Adonis bounced around in group homes and foster homes and juvie as well, and then she took him in, and he grew up and he was fighting down in Tijuana, and then he decides to fight for real, and he goes and moves to Philadelphia and trains with Rocky, who is initially reluctant to help him train. You know, he hasn't been involved in the lifestyle in a while, and he decides to go ahead and do it because he's Apollo Creed's son. And so, of course, it takes it to the top. And he fights the light heavyweight champ. And both Adonis, Don, and Rocky are haunted by ghosts from their past, and they have to join together to fight their battles. All the drama's there, all the emotions are there, and the dialogue is very poignant as well. There's a line in particular at the end in the main fight that just really stood out to me, and that was one of the things that I thought was excellent in this movie. Great emotions all throughout, and very well acted. Michael B. Jordan really stood out in this role. And there's the back right here. And next up I have The Mutilator, also known as Fall Break. This is one I've had a bootleg for years. I can finally put that thing to rest. I'm actually really surprised at all the horror movies that are getting Blu-ray releases in the past couple of years. I've had to retire so many bootlegs, and I'm so happy though. And this is released by Arrow Video, and this is actually a region-free release, and distributed here by MVD in the US, MVD Visual and Entertainment. They're putting out the Arrow Video releases, and they just announced a Arrow Video Films companion book, hardcover book. I think it's like 200 and something pages. I can't wait to check that out. I'm definitely going to pick that up. But this one right here has a new transfer, a whole ton of special features in here, including new commentary and new interviews as well from the director and people involved with the film, which I think is great. They do such a fantastic job on their releases, Arrow Video. One of the best studios out there worldwide. Nice slipcover as well, right there. And the song is just so cheesy, the Fall Break song, but it's so catchy as well. And go ahead and show you, there's the disc artwork right there for disc 1, and then there's disc 2. It's a Blu-ray DVD combo pack, and I'll go ahead and show you one of the things that it's a complete package with Arrow Video. You get great transfers, great special feature, you get the great packaging, clear case, you get the booklet, so if you're a fan of the film, you're just getting tons and tons of information, behind the scenes shots. It's just fantastic. I mean, I can't say enough great things about it. Like I said, Arrow Video to me is like a combination of Scream Factory and Criterion Collection. And then you get an advertisement card right here for other Arrow Video releases. And then the reversible artwork as well, the disc artwork. There's the reversible artwork. I've never liked that artwork right there, the Fall Break one. I like the title, but I'm not a fan of that artwork. I love the heck out of that artwork. And I have to say, I like the title better, but I want to know when they exactly changed the title, because it was Fall Break. I mean, the song too. I want to find out more information, but Mutilator is just, I think, catchier and for horror fans. But with the advent of so many different college and high school horror movies and things like that, Fall Break could have worked as well. But there's the Mutilator. And it's basically about a group of friends who go to a beach house during their fall break, and one by one they get picked off and killed. I don't want to give too much about the plot away, but it has to do with the one kid whose father's beach house it is, and what happened when he was younger. And it's kind of, it's not a perfect movie by any means, but if you're a fan of 80s slashers, I'd recommend it. There's some good gore in here, especially the one hook scene with the girl. That one always stands out. But a fun 80s horror slasher movie with some decent gore in here. And that theme song always gets me. Next up is Forbidden Zone, directed by Richard Elfman, brother of Danny Elfman. And this is Danny Elfman's first score as well. This movie is just insane, just an acid trip of a movie. It was basically kind of an homage to the performance troupe of the Mystic Knights of the Oingo Boingo, who later became the rock band Oingo Boingo. And it's just, this is probably the cheapest set design for a movie I think I've ever seen. It's just like cardboard doors and things like that. The house is made of cardboard. Originally it was shot in black and white, but this has the color version as well. This is the special edition. A bunch of good bonus features in here, including an introduction from Richard Elfman, who's working on the sequel, and that introduction was nuts, just as nuts as the movie, and audio commentary, a bunch of great special features in here. And yeah, this is basically about a family who lives in a house, and there's a door in the basement that leads to the 6th dimension. It has the little person right there that was in Treasure Island, and just there's the frog butler guy. It's just so insane. And Richard Elfman actually stars in the movie as the devil too, so it's ridiculous. You go down to the 6th dimension, there's all kinds of craziness with the king and queen who just basically dominate, and the king has like slave women, and there's a princess who's always naked. There's lots of nudity. This was actually kind of a controversial film because there's people in blackface, and there's kind of homophobic comments. There's anti-Semitic comics. There's all kinds of, and then the women there are kind of sexualized, overly sexualized. So kind of controversial, but I think they're kind of trying to poke fun or kind of parody some of the different way that Hollywood has handled different films and genres and things over the years. But it's such a nuts film. And this is released by MVD as well, visual. There's the disc artwork. It comes with a nice booklet in here too. Go ahead and show you. I can't recommend this one for, you know, just a casual movie fan. You have to be into like really trippy, gonzo, crazy movies. If you're into that kind of stuff, cinema absurd, I think you'll appreciate this, but it is nuts. Next up is the next 3 right here I got from the website Blu-Rays4everyone.com. I've mentioned them before. A great site for collectors. They've got steelbooks, slipcovers you can buy. A great site. I'll leave the link down below for them. And I got these 3 from there. Freaks of Nature, which I really hadn't heard anything about. And there seems to be a ton of horror comedy movies coming out recently. And I think really 2015 especially was one of the best years in horror in like 30 years. And this was a lot of fun, way better than I was expecting as well, just because mostly I didn't really hear too much about it. And it kind of just jumps right into things. It's basically a high school, and this town has all kinds of different vampires and zombies and werewolves. Oh my. And there's basically just, you know, people trying to deal with everything that's going on. And there's aliens that come down, and this town is trying to... the town is actually the home of the Riblet as well, which I thought was very funny. And it's such a fantastic cast in here. I could spend all day going... There's the cast right here, talking about the cast. You've got Joan Cusack, Bob Odenkirk, Patton Oswalt, Dennis Leary, Vanessa Hudgens, so stunning. Mackenzie Davis, Nicholas Braun, Josh Fadem, whole bunch of people in here. A lot of recognizable faces. So I think this is one that definitely is a lot of fun if you're into horror comedy movies. You don't take it too seriously. It's kind of self-aware, poking fun at itself, and just very entertaining. It's got, you know, romance aspects, survival aspects, kind of coming of age as well. But you throw in the fact that there's, you know, zombies and vampires, and the one guy in here looked so much like the dude from Twilight. I was thinking, is that actually him? But it wasn't. It was just somebody else playing his part, and that was kind of really entertaining as well. But this whole movie was so much fun, and I'll talk more about this one coming up soon. I'm going to do a proper review for it because I really enjoyed the heck out of it. And there is the disc artwork, Brains. But yeah, I love the high school setting, and they just kind of like jump right into the movie, not explaining like the reasoning behind the fact that there's all these different, you know, creatures. Essentially, it's the world that it was in. Next up is Crimson Peak from Guillermo del Toro. This is absolutely stunning. The costume design was fantastic, and I think it should have been nominated for an Oscar for the costume design. The acting was great. The costume design really stood out. Very creepy and atmospheric. The only thing is, I thought it was super predictable, the relationship, and then afterwards as well. And I was kind of let down by the fact you see these ghosts that are all bloody, and I really love the look to them, but they could have utilized them more, especially at the end. And I was kind of disappointed they didn't do that. And there's some things that I wanted a little bit more from this movie. I think that was kind of the biggest detraction for me personally. The fact that I thought a lot of the movie was predictable, especially the twist, and then more of certain things that happened towards the end of the movie, and then the lack of the full utilization of the ghost. But overall, very creepy and atmospheric film that I still very much enjoyed. I just think it could have been better. And again, the costume design and the acting were fantastic. The cast was top notch in here, and it stars Mia Wasikowska, who I first came across her in the movie Lawless, which was a fantastic movie directed by John Hillicoat and co-written by Nick Cave, the singer-songwriter. And it starred Tom Hardy and Shia LaBeouf, and it's basically about bootleggers during Prohibition time. And I thought that movie was fantastic, and seeing her in that movie, I knew she was going to be a star. And it's probably one of the only movies that I could actually stand Shia LaBeouf in, so I would highly recommend Lawless. But it also has Jessica Chastain, who was fantastic in here, Tom Hiddleston, and Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy. Of course, he's been in so many different movies. He was in Green Street Hooligans from way back in the day. And Tom Hiddleston has been in a bunch of stuff, but I always think of him as Loki. It's kind of one of those things where they're in such a iconic role, you just kind of always think of them in that role, even though they've done tons of other stuff. But I'll go ahead and show you. There's the slipcover right there from Universal. Some good special features in here. And here is the Blu-ray and DVD disc right there. Just such a beautiful film. I love the look of it, and I love just the whole storytelling of it. But I thought it was predictable, the twist, the relationship, and then certain other aspects. But again, you give me all this ghost tease, and you're not paying off? Come on. But Guillermo del Toro, friggin' genius. And Devil's Backbone is one of my all-time favorites from him. So, and kind of utilizing things with the ghost as well. I like there's a part in here where she's writing a book, and she's basically saying the ghost is basically a representation of the past. And I really like that. Next up is Steve Jobs. This is also from Universal. And Michael Fassbender, one of our generation's best actors in my opinion. And he's nominated for Best Actor. Personally, it was a very strong performance. His performance made this movie, playing Steve Jobs. We've seen a lot of different movies and documentaries about Steve Jobs, biopics and stuff recently. But I think this is probably the best one that I've seen. And also nominated was Kate Winslet. Personally, I don't think... Michael Fassbender I could see a little bit more because his performance was strong as the driving force for the movie, but Kate Winslet, I don't think her performance was Oscar nomination worthy. I think Seth Rogen's and Jeff Daniels had a better performance in here. I will say Kate Winslet, was effective in her role, but didn't really stand out for an Oscar award-winning performance personally. But yeah, it's basically about Steve Jobs and how much of a jerk he was, and just kind of single-minded, and but it was very interesting as well, and very performance-driven. Nice slipcover. I wish they would have delved a little bit more into things, especially towards the end of the film, and talked a little bit more about his life, and especially towards the end. But some interesting information in there. And here we go. Here is the Blu-ray and DVD. Right there. So there we go. There are my 6 pickups. And if you've seen any of these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them. Leave me a comment or video response down below. Hope everyone's doing well. Take care.